This is the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. Ever wish you could re-listen to your favorite interview or segment? Do you enjoy hearing older shows for the first time in years? Then the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less is just what you need. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Greetings and welcome to another edition of the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. I'm your host, John Solberg, and this edition is being brought to you by The Butcher Shop. The Butcher Shop is home of the A9 Master Kobe briskets, where they are always hand-picked. This father and son team has operated this retail meat market in Pensacola, Florida for the past 15 years. Kevin and Jordan ship nationwide to the biggest names in the barbecue industry. The A9 brisket won both sides of the American Royal Cook-Off. That happened in 2019. They also ship some of the finest prime, dry-aged, Australian Wagyu, and Japanese Wagyu steaks to people just like you and me who aspire to be the kings of their backyards. The Butcher Shop always has Berkshire, Compart Duroc, Allegiance Duroc, and Prairie Fresh all-natural pork in stock, and again, always hand-picked just for you. Are you into any wild game items like bison, venison, elk, ostrich? How about some camel? Have you been searching for those 10 to 12 pound boneless turkey breasts featured on How to Barbecue Right? The Butcher Shop has them in stock, and they are ready to ship to you today. So whether you're looking for the best competition, briskets, ribs, or pork butts, or you just want to have a better option to cook at home, give the Butcher Shop a call. 850-458-8782. 850-458-8782. You can also get a hold of them on their Facebook page, facebook.com/thebutchershop. Shop spelled SHOPPE. Mention the Barbecue Central Show and you're going to save 10% off your entire order. The Butcher Shop, home of the A9 brisket. And here's what's going on today. From March the 23rd, 2010, it is a pork butt roundtable. I'm going to jump right into this and let Greg introduce this esteemed panel of pork butt cookers.
Third week in a row where we're going to be doing the barbecue roundtable. Tonight is the pork butt edition. On the panel sitting in tonight, ranked number one in the pork category in 2009. In the KCBS, pitmaster of Little Pigtown, Scott Key, joining us, ranked number 5 in pork for 2009 in the KCBS, and fresh off their third place overall finish at Smoke on the Water contest this past weekend in North Arkansas. Pitmaster of the Slabs.com, Kyle Laval. And rounding out the panel, ranked number 7 in pork in 2009, and KCBS purveyor of some very popular injections for the barbecue world as well, pitmaster of Butcher Barbecue, Dave Bosca. All right, so when you're actually shopping for the butts themselves, just to back up a little bit, you looking for anything in particular when you're actually viewing these butts, and do you have like a specific purveyor of pork that you buy from, or is it just, one of the mass market stores like a BJ's or a Sam's Club? And we'll go back to Dave for that.
There's stuff that I look for particularly. There's some striations on what we call the money muscle that I look heavily for, and I do like a little darker pork that's a little higher rich in oil and that, which is flavor, which American pork, most of it's been bred out of. So I look for that little richer pork, and I like to try and find a lot of marbling. And as far as where I buy it at, I do shop a couple different places, one being a Sam's and one being a local wholesaler. We do deal with them.
Scott from Little Pigtown?
I actually pretty much always get my butts from Sam's Club. I do pick them up from a meat company in Tulsa called Tulsa Beef as well from time to time. I'm usually looking for, I like the fat cap on the bottom side of the butt to be really white. The whiter the better, I think. And, of course, you're looking at what Dave mentioned there, the money muscle, and just kind of trying to pick one out that I think looks well, and 2 that are close in size anyway, so you can get them cooked up about the same time.
Kyle?
Yeah, I like a good size one, about 7 to 9 pounds, like I said, and we get them anywhere. We like them on sale. I'll tell you, the one Oklahoma Joe's actually sponsors us for meat, but I've had quite a bit of pork in the freezer that we've been working on. The last one I cooked last weekend, and It was about 9.3 pounds, and that sucker had actually been frozen since late of '07 because we got them on sale for 99 cents a pound. So I just been kind of pulling them out as I need them. And
so you're actually you're defrosting butts. I mean, like from what I've heard, that is almost like a sacrilege to use a frozen butt thawed out.
Oh no, Steph, we got those about August or September of '07.
Wow. Those are almost antique butts.
I take that back. It was '08. Yeah, it was '08.
Antique bucks being used there by the slabs.com. So, and it sounded like you were doing 2 butts, Kyle, at a competition?
No, just one. Oh. One butt, one brisket.
Wow. One butt, one brisket. Scott, how many are you doing for competition?
I cooked 2.
2 butts. And Dave, how many butts are you doing for competition?
We cook 2 butts also, and we freeze everything we cook also.
You freeze after you cook, or?
No, everything that we cook will be frozen at one point or another.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, I've heard that before. I've heard some people say they like to freeze their briskets before they cook them.
Is that to get a better smoke rate?
I have no idea.
Not that the judges look for that. All right, so trimming process, and we'll go back to Dave to start with. What are you doing to get that butt ready? You trimming down that fat cap, or what's kind of the process going over at Butcher Barbecue Camp?
The fat cap on the bottom, I don't pay much attention to. The type of cooker that I use, being an FE, it cooks from the bottom up, so I like to leave all the fat on it to help protect the rest of it. I just trim around the money muscle and clean that up real well, and just check the bone side mostly just to see if there's any bone fragments. And sometimes you'll find the little bones across the top where they peel off the rib bones. Sometimes they'll leave a little sliver on that. So I just make sure it's good and clean of all that.
Scott?
I pretty much the same. I really don't trim any of the fat off the cap on the bottom. I go around looking for. Sometimes you get those little pockets of blood or whatever they are. I cut those out. Sometimes you'll have a vein left in there too. You cut that out and you clean up, a little fat around the money muscle, and that's about it for trimming. I really don't trim much on the pork butt.
What about you, Kyle?
I go in and, like I said, I separate. There's that line that separates between kind of the bone side and the big muscle side. I separate that out and then debone it. If there's any extra fat inside there, that you don't really need, like you said, any veins or anything, I trim out any of that so I get good contact with the meat. But I like to leave the fat cap on the bottom also. That way when I wrap it in foil, if something happens, I wrap it fat down. That way, if something's going to fry, it'll be that fat cap.
You don't do any special scoring or anything like that to initiate more bark formation or getting the rubbing or anything like that?
No, when I open it up and butterfly it and get that bone out of there, I separate those 2 muscles out when I cook it, so it's kind of just connected by that fat cap, and then I've got those 2 separate deals. That's pretty much all the surface area you need.
Scott, do you do any special scoring at all to get more bark or let the rub penetrate?
No, I score bologna because I like the effect, but no.
What about you, Dave? Any special scoring?
No, nothing here.
All right, so I'm going to guess just because of time constraints at a competition, you're probably not brining a pork butt. So that would lead me to the next question, and I'm sure we'll get a yes from Dave. But we'll start with Kyle from the slabs.com. You injecting your butt?
Yep.
And are you using your own homemade concoction, or are you using one of the handful of things out there?
It's a homemade concoction. I'd be glad to give you the recipe if you'd like it.
If you're willing to share, that would be certainly different than last week. Go ahead.
Okay, it's a half cup of kosher salt and 2 quarts of water.
Wow, a very intricate brine recipe, no doubt about it, or injection recipe. And do you do that a specific period of time before it goes onto the cooker?
About 8 hours.
8 hours, all right. What about you, Scott? You injecting the butts?
I do not inject pork.
At all?
At all.
You ever done it? I
have done it, yeah.
Just didn't like the way it turned out?
Yeah, it's just not, I don't have anything against it. It's just not it wasn't getting what I needed out of it, so I just don't do it for competitions.
What about you, Dave?
Yeah, we do.
who do you use?
Well, we use a product that I've got a few boxes of still left over.
Yeah, I bet.
But we do inject, and we use a water and a peach nectar along with it.
By the way, he's being coy, but I would imagine you're using the butcherbarbecue.com pork injection.
Yes, sir, we do.
All right, and I forgot to. Well, Scott doesn't, but do you in the same time frame as Kyle as far as when you do it prior to going on the cooker?
He's right, same as me. I do inject about 8 hours prior.
A lot more to this show. Head on over to the bbqcentralshow.com. Link in the show notes. It's going to take you right there. The roundtables are full of information for everyone, backyarders and comp cooks alike. You do not want to miss it. Something else you don't want to miss is your opportunity to save 10% off your entire order from the Butcher Shop. Shop spelled SHOPPE. Check them out on Facebook. Run over there and get you a Berkshire or a Duroc pork butt. Give it a try. Have you tried it? Save 10% off when you mention the Barbecue Central Show. Facebook.com/The Butcher Shop. Again, shop spelled SHOPPE. Thank you so much for checking out the show today. Until next time on the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less, I'm your host, John Solberg. I look forward to talking to you again soon.